Hello, intuitive friends. Hello, intuitive friends. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you're interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box. All links are there for you. For those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers, and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome back, intuitive friends. If you're watching this after the live stream, you can take a look down below in the description box, and there you will have timestamps. As today I am doing the messages here. I'm channeling the messages here for the singles collective, those of you who are water signs. So down below in the description box, you will find a individual timestamp for Scorpio, individual timestamp for Cancer, individual timestamp for Pisces for the December readings. For those of you who are watching me live, welcome back. And of course, you won't have time stamps yet, but you will after the reading. So welcome, intuitive friends. Welcome back. All right, intuitive friends, as I mentioned earlier, I will be channeling messages focusing on the singles collective, water signs, individual Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Channeling messages focusing on what release may be potentially occurring in December in order for you to clear your past connections, past emotions, past blockages in your heart chakra so you can finally open the door to the love that you so rightly deserve. And of course, for some of you that you've been manifesting for 2026. Okay. That being said, intuitive friends, we're going to jump straight into the readings. Let us see if you guys can hear me very well. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Awesome. Intuitive friends, you guys can hear me. All right, let us jump into the readings, starting with Scorpio. Oh, let me see. Let me bring that down a little bit. There we go. All right, before I start here with Scorpio. All right, intuitive friends, let's jump straight into the readings. We're going to start with Scorpio, followed by Cancer, and then, of course, last but not least, Pisces. If you miss the other signs, fire sign, earth sign, air sign, then look in the section, or I should say, look in the playlist where it will say singles readings playlist. All of the December singles readings should be there. All right. All right, intuitive friends, let us start with Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, or if you are Scorpio and other aspects on your astrological natal chart that focus on love, connections, partnerships, marriage, and relationships, then these messages are also for you. So that means if you are, or if you have on your astrological natal chart, Scorpio in your Venus, or Scorpio in your Juno, or Scorpio in your 5th house, or Scorpio in your 7th house, then these messages are for you. That being said, intuitive friends, let's jump straight into your reading. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box. Scorpio, today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on what release may be potentially occurring in December in order for you to clear your past connections, emotions, heart chakra, so that you could finally set the stage up and open the door to love in 2026. All right, so let's see what release may be potentially occurring here for you, single Scorpio, in the month of December. All right, and you have here abandonment's echo. Recognize where feelings of rejection stem from. Trust that you are never truly lonely. Okay, so clearing energies here of, for some, abandonment. Okay, this could have happened in childhood. This could have happened um, in the early childhood stages of your life. This could have also happened perhaps in your past or recent past, whether that be past connections, breakup, separations, divorce. Okay. And what this is saying here, Sagittarius, is to recognize where these abandonment issues may be stemming from, as they could be a reoccurring pattern of attaching yourself or creating connections with people, situations, circumstances, environments where it may not be the most healthiest or conducive to have a relationship, but due to the fact that there may be here potentially some abandonment issues, there's this innate feeling here where there's this kind of like deeper core foundation of this feeling, right? The core, at the bottom of everything here, where there's this void, right? This void that wants to or needs to be filled in some way, shape, or form. And the void here may be stemming from a situation, circumstance, or event in your past or recent past, or as I said before, in your early childhood stages, or maybe, a little bit older here, but it stems from some type of rejection. So this could be mother wounds, father wounds, okay, childhood wounding in some way, shape, or form that could have started or created that energy here where abandonment may have started, right? And of course, as time goes on, having relationships or trying to stay in relationships that may not be healthy, or starting relationships in situations where at the beginning you can see or tell, or you just kind of, oh well, maybe it's just me, let me just keep going, where there may have been red flags, and you may have either consciously or unconsciously turned a blind eye. Okay, maybe to the point where you didn't even want to share certain things with friends, family, or loved ones in regards to those connections, because they may have said right away, hey, listen, we see a red flag here. But because of potentially here abandonment issues, that has echoed, and then there may have been here, or there may be here some situations here in December where you realize that this abandonment issues need to be taken care of, need to be cleared, need to be worked through. Okay. Now, abandonment issues is that chaser dynamic. So you may have seen this energy manifest itself in some way, shape, or form if you were in connections where either there was a fear of abandonment or a fear of intimacy. That's that runner chaser dynamic. Okay. Chaser is the fear of abandonment. Runner is the fear of intimacy. So that dynamic may have played here a reoccurring pattern in your connections. Okay, potentially. So here in December, this is talking about clearing this energy so that you can set the stage up for a healthier relationship and healthier dynamics in 2026. As you know, 2026, if you add all the digits, and we're talking about numerology, you get the number 10. Numerology really focuses on single digit numbers. Nines being the time of completion, which 2025 is the year 9, which we are very close to ending this 2025 calendar year. And then we're going to start a 2026 calendar year, which focuses on number 1, okay? Year of 1, new beginnings. All right, so you have here group dynamics. Group dynamics are shifting. And again, I feel here that these group dynamics are really, pointing here to that energy that I was talking about a little while ago, where you may see some reoccurring patterns in your love life, single Scorpio, where there's this runner chaser dynamic, okay, in order to fill a void due to some feelings of either mother wounding, father wounding, okay. It says, trust that you are never truly alone. And that may be here the case, single Scorpio, where it's been kind of jumping from one connection to another connection to another connection to another connection, not allowing yourself the time to heal, mend, fix, or repair. But I feel here in the month of December, there's this energy here focusing on clearing that reoccurring pattern. Okay, so let's take a look here at more. And that's what's interesting here is that this group dynamics is coming across as, again, just cycles repeating itself, scripts repeating itself. That if you were to sit down and analyze how you have either reacted or how you have moved from one connection to the other, you may see a pattern either of, like I mentioned before, the chaser dynamic, which is the fear of abandonment, or the runner dynamic, the fear of intimacy. And so instead of having proper closures here in those past or recent past connections, there may be this reoccurring pattern that if you sit down and you analyze and you connect the dots, you see that the common denominator of those switches, of those scripts here, may be very well connected to the abandonment's echo. Again, recognizing where your feelings of, this could be rejection, this could be also mother-father woundings. All right, let's see what else is coming through here, Scorpio. Welcome. I offer an open door, a warm invitation to step into a space where you are embraced and valued. So validation is coming across as something that's very important to you in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Validated in fill in the blank. This could be different, for different single Scorpios here, because this is a general reading. But there's a sense here of needing to feel or wanting to feel, maybe creating a family. There's a longing for that here for some of you. As I mentioned earlier here, this deep-seated void that may be felt. And so not feeling comfortable being alone, not feeling comfortable. That is why, again, as I mentioned earlier here, replacing one, situation with another situation, one X with another X with another X with another X and so forth, rather than really thinking about where this reoccurring pattern is stemming from. So I feel here in December, there is this energy here that is welcoming you to really sit down and reflect and see, where did this maybe begin? How can you work with this energy? How can you let go of this past reoccurring pattern past connections, emotions, blockages in your heart chakra, so that you can break that storyline or that script and be more welcoming heart chakra wise to what 2026 has in store for you here in your love life. Okay, so very beautiful energy here, Scorpio. Let's take a look here at more clarity. We're going to clarify here abandonment echo. Recognize where your feelings of rejection stem from. There's a sense here of again, this is a general reading, but there is this energy that comes through here of being validated. Like that's like super important. Like there even could be times here, single Scorpio, where you may notice that if someone may give you constructive criticism in a connection, there may be this sense of being defensive, or, you know, whether consciously or not, already starting to, you know, put your defenses up here. And that's how this is coming across. But let's see, echo, abandonment's echo. Let's see what clarity is coming up here for you. Oh, all right. And we have here independence, carving your own path, you being able to connect the dots here, like I said before, with this self, you know, a soul searching, okay, this introspection that is going to be needed in order for you to understand where those dynamics, whether it's runner chaser, whether it's childhood wounding, child situations here that may have happened in the past or recent past. Because at the end of the day, our first foundation is family. Okay, so if there is a potential here for having been in a situation, circumstance, or an event in your early childhood stages where there were abandonment issues or mother woundings or father woundings, that can come up in connections in your love life. Okay, so it's where was your first heartbreak? Usually our first heartbreak happens with those fundamental connections as we're children, right? So this is how can you reclaim your love life by taking a look at what certain situations, circumstance, events may have happened in your past or recent past, so you can clear these dynamics and allow yourself not to repeat the same storyline, to be independent, to, in a way, independence, to break away, to release that energy so that you can carve your own path in your love life. So stopping the domino effect here. Okay, so how can you shift and recreate a new storyline? Okay, so very, very interesting, very similar to what I was picking up at the beginning of the reading, but we're going to keep moving along here. Let's get more clarity here on group dynamics. As I said, group dynamics here is feeling like, again, there are some patterns here in your love life where, you know, you may turn around and look and say, okay, you know, this is a storyline that keeps happening over and over again. And I feel here in December, it's all about you releasing so that you can clear these heart chakra blockages, clear your connections from the past, emotions, residual energy. So there could be that fresh, new, welcoming energy here for you in 2026. Year path 1. Okay, group dynamics. Let's see what's coming through here for you. Let's get more clarity. Group dynamics, future, choice, judgment. Yeah, you have the power to shift your love life narrative. Interesting here, Scorpio. In a way, validation, confirmation here, because you have here Lamort. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to go as closely as I can. So here you have a person who is the person who divines, okay? Lamort is the death card in tarot, which coincidentally, you rule Scorpio in the tarot deck in regards to the major arcanas. So you're coming up in your own reading here, which of course gives this even more of this powerful shift that may occur. But what this is saying here with the death card is in order for you to move in a cycle that is different, to break the pattern, like I said, the ants are coming across intuitively to me as like the storyline has happened multiple times. Okay, maybe not as many as these ants, but you get the picture here where this is talking about, yeah, group dynamics. This has happened more than once. This energy, okay, this kind of like abandonment storyline has come across multiple times. Perhaps different cast of characters, but very similar storylines. And so the death card in tarot is saying here to you, single Scorpio, that it's the ending of the cycle that we talked about here with this abandonment and group dynamics. That needs to end, okay? The death card, the ending of the cycle, for a transition here to occur, for a change to occur within you in regards to how you're going to move differently, not in the same way, not in the same pattern, very differently in 2026, and how that can bring you here a very different outcome. So you choosing, so we see here it says choice, you choosing a different future. And the judgment in tarot, now granted, this is not a tarot deck, this is an oracle deck, but the judgment card in tarot is taking a look at things and having an epiphany, allowing yourself to have a change of heart and a change of mind in order for that shift to occur. Okay? So that you can welcome a very different storyline here for yourself in 2026. As I said, year one in 2026. Last but not least, let's see what else here, what release may be potentially occurring here in the month of December in order for you. Look at that. I mean, talk about validation, confirmation. You have the Three of Cups here. Okay. Three of Cups is number one. It says here, embrace joyful opportunities. Okay. So you allowing yourself to really have a very different mindset and a different direction when it comes to your love life. Three of Cups is not only about celebration, so there may be here things that you will be doing here in December. Maybe you're coming down the home stretch in regards to this mending, fixing, repairing, and healing these storylines that that I was telling you here before. But there could also be here the sense of you really kind of taking time to get to know someone through a friendship first. So not quickly going in the direction of perhaps passion, not quickly going in the direction of something, going deeper because, or going too deep too quickly because there is a sense here of a potential void that you may be experiencing due to past situations, circumstances, or events. So I feel that there's this like welcoming of being a little bit more casual, platonic, getting to understand people, friends, having that type of connection first before jumping into the other levels, okay, of a deeper connection in your love life. Also, the Three of Cups is very much talking about here, single Scorpio, about mending, fixing, and repairing. The Three of Cups is about reconciliation and reunion. So for some of you here, Scorpio, it's not for everyone, but there are some of you here that once you start taking a look at these abandonment echoes, and you really start paying attention to that connecting of the dots of patterns, okay, that you realize that need to come to an end, okay, the ending of a cycle, the emotions, the rebirth of something new in a different way, not the same as before, but a brand new epiphany, like I said here with the Judgment. Now, granted, this is not a tarot deck, it is, an oracle deck. Remember that the Judgment card is about rebirth. So there may be some connections that you may have had in the past or recent past, or a very meaningful connection in the past or recent past, where you start to realize here, single Scorpio, well, you know what? Maybe it's the manner in which I may have handled X, Y, and Z, or how I may have overreacted in regards to X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be about. Because Three of Cups is about that reconciliation or reunion. And for some of you, there may be that kind of thought process going through your minds here in December, where, well, now that all has been said and done, and now that the dust has settled, and now that either there has been a pause, okay, between a breakup, separation, or divorce, and now in December, maybe there has been enough time for you to really be more welcoming to having a very different point of view in a situation, circumstance, or event. For others of you, as I said, the Three of Cups is coming through as connections here, friendships, okay? Celebrating, allowing yourself to connect with others, okay? Be more welcoming. And I'm not saying that you weren't welcoming before, but if we're talking about the releasings that have needed to occur, or maybe that you've been working on, in order for something new to begin, the past needs to end, right? There needs to be a shift, an ending, like the Death card in tarot, as we see here with the one who divines, La Mort, okay? The ending of a cycle, something that may have been out of your control. As I said, may have been out of your control because maybe there were, or there have been mother wounds, father wounds, or other types of woundings here that have not allowed you to really be able to connect those dots and say, you know what, there is a pattern. There is this kind of way that I do what I do in my love life. And that may have been an indication here of why there have been these endings the way they may have been. Okay. So there's this awareness that's coming through here in the month of December, where you notice that you are more open to welcoming healthier connections because you are working on your healthier connections with others. Okay. That being said, Scorpio, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and continue to subscribe. Drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages resonated for you. That being said, take care, Scorpio, and I'll see you soon. Up next, we have Cancer. But before I jump into Cancer's reading, for those of you who are watching me live, welcome, intuitive friends. Thank you so much for your thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for your love, your loyalty, and your support. If you've missed your December readings, well, take a look. Don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section if those December readings have resonated for you or may resonate for you in the month of December. And if you missed the unexpected messages, what you don't see coming, you can take a look at the bonus messages playlist, and there you will find what you don't see coming. Now, that was for 3 months, October or November or December. So we're now in December. So if you missed that, take a look at that. Those are messages that may happen suddenly and then you don't see coming. And I channeled messages that you can find in the bonus messages playlist. Okay. All right, intuitive friends. That being said, we're going to jump into Cancer's reading. And we're going to take a look to see what's coming through. we're kind of in a way taking a last look here at the love life, at our love lives here, and figuring out what may be potentially be released here in the month of December, so that you can clear your heart chakra and you can set the stage up for a more meaningful connection in the new year, 2026. Okay, remember 2026 is year one and 2025 is the year 9. So it's all about completions right now. So what are you kind of spinning out? What are you tying the loose ends in order for you to allow yourself to set the stage to a better, brighter, more loving connections in 2026? Okay, clearing that heart chakra. All right, intuitive friends. Up next, we have Cancer. Hello, Cancer, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Cancer sun, moon, rising, or if you are a Cancer in other placements on your astrological natal chart that focus on love, connections, partnerships, marriage, relationships, and those areas are if you are a Cancer in your Venus, or if you are a Cancer in your Juno, or if you are a Cancer in your 5th house, or if you are a Cancer in your 7th house, then these messages are for you. Okay? All right, Cancer, welcome. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a 2nd degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, then take a look down below in the description box. All my information is down below. Intuitive friends, for those of you who are my current subscribers, my new viewers and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Today, I'm going to be channeling messages here for you, single Cancer, focusing on what release may be potentially occurring in the month of December in order for you to clear your past connections, emotions, memories, and finally open the door to the love that you have been manifesting for 2026. Okay. All right, intuitive friends, let's take a look here at single Cancer. And again, you may have different placements in that. Take a look down below in the description box if you want more, find out more information about your placements in your Venus, Juno, 5th or 7th houses. Okay. And of course, that's free information down below. Let's see, single Cancer, what release may be potentially occurring for you in December in order for you to clear the past connections, memories, residual energy, even your heart chakra here as well. Look at that, the wounded heart. Okay, you have the wounded heart, and it says acknowledge, and tend to past emotional wounds. Healing begins with self-compassion. So, wounded heart is saying here that perhaps in the month of December, you may be releasing these past woundings by you actually taking a look back at the pain, the lessons that you have learned. Not so that you can be sad or, saddened by it, not so that you can, have this nostalgic, melancholic energy, but for you to be more aware of what may have gone wrong. What did you miss the first time around in those connections? And I don't mean like physically miss. I mean, what signs did you miss? Okay? What things now you can look back and say, you know what? I was just blinded by love, or I was blinded by my emotions. Okay? So the wounded heart is saying, well, acknowledge that breakup, separation, or divorce. Yes, it was difficult. Yes, it hurt. Yes, it must have been a difficult situation, sadness, grief, and loss. So acknowledge that was felt. Acknowledge where the missteps were, both on both sides, on your side and on the other person's side, right? sometimes we tend to, point the finger, right? But we forget that the other three fingers are pointing at us, right? So it's that kind of like looking outside of yourself, but also looking within yourself in regards to those emotional wounds. What were the signs that you may have missed? Healing begins with self-compassion. So the healing process of your love life is about you taking a look at those past situations, circumstances, or events, extracting the lessons, healing your heart chakra through it. The heart chakra frequency is 639 hertz solfeggio frequency. You can, you know, lay in bed, place your hands on your heart chakra, close your eyes, put in your ear pods or your headset, and listen to the heart chakra solfeggio frequency of 639 hertz. And that can help you with time. Again, this is something that you do over and over again, a few times during the week in order for you to heal that heart chakra. Okay, maybe you start once a week, then you go, you do it twice a week, and you do it 3 or 4 times a week, so that you can start letting go of that residual pain. Because what happens is that pain over time, if it's not released or let go, if you don't let it go, it stagnates. It creates a blockage in your heart chakra where you may create this sense of being a little bit jaded, and maybe here, and this is sometimes, I've had clients that have said this, where they're like, well, I really try. I go out there and I try, and it just doesn't seem to pan out for me. And I'm like, well, have you worked through the pain? Have you worked through the blockage? Because sometimes people can pick up on that energy, especially if you haven't healed, right, or mended or repaired. And it's picked up by other people, and you could be doing all the right things, but your energy is saying something different. And energy never lies. Okay. And then there are people out there who are empaths, who are intuitives, just like you here, Cancer, right? Who may pick up on that energy. So this is talking about letting go of those past emotional wounds. The healing begins with you being nurturing and compassionate and kind to yourself. Saying to yourself, you know what, this may have happened in the past or recent past, and it's not something that happened to me, but something that happened for me in order for me to learn. Okay, in order for me to realize certain things that I didn't realize at the time, maybe because fill in the blank, maybe inexperience, immaturity, maybe there were some voids that you felt inside of you, and you were trying to place a bandage on a deeper wound by filling it up with another connection, right? So that is what this is talking about here for you, the wounded heart. Let's take a look at more clarity here. This is just the beginning of the reading here, Cancer. We're going to go dive deep here and see what release may be potentially occurring here in the month of December in order for you to clear your past connections, heart chakra, emotions, memories, and so forth. You have here release expectations. Yeah. There may have been here in the past or recent past some unrealistic expectations. Okay. Not so much about, yourself. It's just, it says here, let go of expectations and allow things to unfold naturally. Okay. So release expectations. Maybe there's a script in your mind or in your heart. Maybe there's the quote unquote fairy tale that you have always envisioned. And this is talking about you needing to take a look at how have you reacted and acted to these woundings, to these situations that have broken your heart, whether that's been a breakup, separation, or divorce, and how that has imprinted, okay, in your story. How has that imprinted in the narrative or the creation of what you expected in love and what actually happened? And so there may be here feelings of disappointment, right? Because it may not have panned out the way you have expected or wanted to in the past or recent past. So in December, this is talking about you releasing here or clearing that sense of expectations, where the expectations are not about other people, but about ourselves. So, what can you do here in order to heal the emotional wounds from the past, the breakup, separation, the divorce, the nostalgia, the memories, the hurt, the grieving, the loss? And how can you also here take a different approach or look at things in a very different way and say to yourself, well, what would be more realistic? Okay. Love is not just about, it's not really about the feelings. Love is about someone making a choice every single day to show up, to choose in hard times, in difficult times, in challenging times, to choose to stay in a connection that is healthy, right? So it starts with a healthy connection. So here, this could be, well, let me go back to the drawing board. Let me see what my checklist looks like. Okay. And what are some things that I need to alter? What do I need to change? What do I need to revise? What do I need to take away and replace because I'm now more experienced or I'm older or I see things in a different way due to that breakup, separation, or divorce in the past or recent past? So release expectations here. Again, it says let go of expectations and allow things to flow naturally. Let people show you who they are. And when they show you who they are the first time, believe them. Okay. That's a very famous quote from Maya Angelou. Okay. When people show you who they are once, and when they show you who they are, believe them. And then pivot if pivoting needs to happen, or of course correct here. But this is talking about you being kind, nurturing, and compassionate to yourself, and saying to yourself, well, you know what, that happened for me to understand things, see things in a different way. Now I know better. Now I see things in a different way. Now I'm able to assess things from a different perspective. After all has been said and done, it's like, okay, now I know for next time. Okay. All right, let's take a look at what else is coming through. And of course, I have 3 more decks here for you, Cancer. This is quite of a longer reading because it is more detailed. Look at that. Exactly what I said. Growth. You grow. You've grown. You've grown. You're not the same person that you were, last year or earlier this year or 3 years ago or 5 years ago. And so you really need to take a look at that checklist. You really need to take a look at, are the things that I am wishing, hoping, and working on in order to create a healthy relationship, does it align with who I am now at this moment in time? Or do I have the same checklist from 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 years ago or a year ago? Okay. So growth says, I will ignite a spark inside you, inspiring greater depth and expansion. I feel that this is the spark that is going to happen within you within the month of December, where you realize and say to yourself, okay, I need to give myself the compassion, the kindness, and the nurturing in order for me to, revise and take a look at what is my criteria for a healthy relationship. What are the things that I'm not going to accept moving forward? And what are the things that a person needs to, with time, natural unfolding, show me who they are? I'm a believer in that we shouldn't always tell people the type of person that we want, because it is the perfect script for someone who wants to fake it. They can fake it, right? If we're giving them the answers to the test, right? So allow yourself to go through the natural unfolding as a friendship evolves, because that's when there's nothing at stake. A person who you start off as friends will show you who they are with time. Okay. So this is very, very interesting here that it's come across, again, validation, confirmation here with growth. Now, let's get a little bit deeper here and add more clarity to the wounded heart. Okay. Again, the wounded heart says, acknowledge and tend to past emotional wounds. Healing begins with self-compassion. All right, let's take a look here. Single Cancer, and let's see what unfolds here for you. Let's get more clarity. What release may be potentially occurring in December in order for you to clear past connections? Look at that. What's coming through for you? 2 cards, returning, going with the flow, and resources. All right. So returning, going with the flow, especially when it comes to the wounded heart, is giving clarity here to the fact that you may say to yourself, Cancer, I've done the healing. I'm good. I'm over that situation, circumstance, or event. I've grown from it. I already learned my lesson. But guess what? Healing isn't linear. Okay. There may be times where you have really, moved 10 paces forward, and there may be that one reminder or that one trigger that can place you from 10 steps forward and needing to take 3 back. And for you to, there may be here cases where you start feeling bad for yourself about it. Like, man, why did I allow that to, hit me hard? Why am I crying? Why am I upset? Why am I triggered by, this memory or this fill in the blank, whatever that may be, connected to an ex or an ex connection? And so this is saying it's okay. It's fine to go forward, 10 steps and go back 3. And then when you take the time to recuperate and heal yourself, when you are 3 steps backwards, take the time to then really, work on that so that you can take 5 steps forward and so forth. So healing isn't linear. And there may be times here that you may be a little bit rough on yourself, right? A little bit critical about that in regards to those old wounds or old emotions. So that's what's coming through here with returning, going with the flow. Sometimes there may be a situation, circumstance, or event that may bring you back to this emotional wounding. Okay. But guess what? You also have here resources. And this very much connected to the growth card, which I was talking about before it even jumped out of the deck here for you. Resources. You're a different person now. You've grown. You can now see those situations, that person, those environments where there was a breakup, separation, or divorce, grieving, wounding, loss, sadness, and say to yourself, well, I now have the tools, or I have added on more tools in order for me to let go of this area here. I have the tools and the resources in order to help me heal this wounded heart or heal these wounded emotions from a breakup, separation, or divorce in the past or recent past. Like I said, you're not the same person. You've outgrown certain cycles. You've outgrown certain people. You've outgrown certain mindsets and certain perspectives. So very, very beautiful energy here in regards to what you may be potentially releasing in order to clear that heart chakra and clear your energy here for 2026. So again, now you have the tools and the resources. You've built up the experience, the maturity, in order to understand that healing is not a linear process. And also the tools and the resources to be able to spot things a lot earlier, okay? And not be I want to say afraid, but not be so hesitant as to ask the important questions when you are getting to know someone, and not fearing, oh my gosh, if I ask this question, this person is just not going to call me or not going to look for me. Or if if I put my foot down and I say this, maybe they're not going to be interested in me. And you know what? It's fine. If they're not interested in you because your beliefs and your values require them to step up, then maybe perhaps this is not the best person for you. And so this is that healing process that may be occurring here for you in the month of December as we end 2025, which is the year 9, and it's all about completion. Let's see what else is coming through with release expectations. Let go of expectations and allow things to unfold naturally. We have here, wow, guess what? Scorpio had the same card. You saw how much I shuffled. Scorpio had the same card here. Okay, you may have other placements. It may be a Scorpio. Why am I saying they might be Scorpio? Because if you take a look here, focus in as much as I can here with my camera. It says Lamort. Lamort is the death card in tarot. And the death card in tarot is ruled by Scorpio. So Scorpio here coming through, in a way, giving validation, confirmation, and talking about the ending of cycles. The fact that there are some things here that have been out of your control. There's some endings here that had to happen, because if not, you would have still been in those situations, circumstances, events, or with that person or people or whatever this was about in your love life. So certain endings were out of your control. But just as we say, okay, the universe opens doors in order for us to walk through and have new experiences, the same thing that we can say about when the universe closes the doors. So when the universe closes a chapter, it's for a reason, right? It's for some type of growth or needing to outgrow a situation, circumstance, event, or person. The one who divines is about choices. You have choices here. Okay, you have the choice to take a look at what your checklist is, what your belief systems are, what your values are, and ensure that they are up to date. They're up to date to the cycle or the maturity or the experience that you have now, the growth that you have encountered throughout those, breakup, separation, or divorces here in the past or recent past. Okay. The one who divines is also about judgment. Okay. Now, I know it says judgment there, but it's coming across, as I said, to Scorpio, like the judgment card in tarot. It's about renewal. Very much like I said here, renewing that checklist. Renewal. It's about looking at things from a different point of view. It's taking the opportunity to take a look at that wounded heart or those emotions here, right? The emotional wounds, and take a mental and emotional inventory and say, okay, well, what did I learn and how can I shift that energy? What renewal, what brand new, what are new things I'm going to be doing here in order to create a healthier love connection or a healthier love life? What are some things that I need to reconsider? What is it that I need to take a second look at and say to myself, okay, I'm going to move around with a more realistic expectation. And that may be here for some of you in giving some time to connections to unfold, but also allowing the natural unfolding in friendships or people that you're getting to know just by looking at, observing, assessing. As you see here, there's a kite. The kite is up in the air. When we look at things from a different point of view, this is talking about looking at it as a whole, looking at it from an aerial point of view. Not being so fine, not looking at every little single thing, which that's fine. You could look at the forest trees within the forest, but then at some time, at some point, you got to zoom out You got to zoom out so that you can see the whole forest and take a more of a holistic observation or analysis here in what it is that you need to revise or need to review or need to update due to the fact that you are in a new chapter or you've outgrown certain chapters. So the choice is up to you at the end of the day. Okay. You do have here a choice. All right. Now, last but not least, let's take a look here at growth. Don't forget here, single Cancer, if these messages have resonated for you, drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know here, ooh, that has been, look at that. You have the 7 of Pentacles, patience. Okay, patience. 7 of Pentacles, it says, I trust my ideas and my direction. Pentacles energy is a slow-moving energy. As I said before, the growth that you have encountered or maybe potentially here encountering in the month of December is one that has taken time, okay? Some of you may be at the beginning stages. Some of you may be in the middle stages. Others of you are towards the tail end of the healing process. Some of you may even say, I already, I've been there, done that. But then again, here comes a situation, circumstance, or an event that may trigger that wounding here. And it makes you reassess, like, am I really over it? Or how can I be more kind and nurturing to myself, because I understand that healing is a process. So 7 of Pentacles energy here is you having the patience to let things grow, especially here, like I said, the natural unfolding of connections or a connection that may be coming in 2026, letting people show you who they are. And when they show you who they are, believe them. Okay. Through friendship, a lot is, realized. Okay. What I'm also getting here with the 7 of Pentacles is patience is going to be key. Okay. In order for you to release this potentially, what may be potentially occurring, clearing your past, clearing your energy field, clearing your heart chakra. It will take time, but, or I should say, in addition to here, once this happens, you're going to be able to feel a whole lot better. You're going to be able to see something here change. And that change is going to be you. The manner in which you move through your love life, the manner in which you see and you observe and you assess connections, friendships, okay? People who may be interested in you, people that you may be interested here. So I will ignite a spark within yourself. You're going to, ignite a spark within yourself. Okay. There's going to be this inspiration of saying to yourself, you know what? I want 2026 to be way different than 2025 or 2024 or 2023 was. And so if I want something to be different, then I have to move towards it in a different way. And the 7 of Pentacles is moving it, towards it with a sense of patience, with a sense of observing and assessing. Again, what came through at the top of the reading is coming through here towards the end. Single Cancer, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages have resonated for you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and continue to subscribe to the channel. Up next, we have last and final card. We have Pisces, not card, the last and final. Oh, Pisces, okay, there it is. It's right here. Okay, last astrological name sign is Pisces, okay? All right, intuitive friends, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Up next, we have Pisces. But first, before I jump into Pisces reading, I want to say thank you to those of you who are tuning in, who are giving me a thumbs up, a like, a share, and for those of you who have subscribed to the channel through these readings, I greatly appreciate it. I hope that these messages have been insightful. Don't forget that if you've missed the other elements, okay, the other signs, they are already in the singles reading section, okay, the singles playlist. So take a look at those. The more you know about your astrological natal chart, the more that you can take a look at different aspects of your astrological natal chart. Down below in the description box, you will see that I have a link, and that link is free for those of you who are interested in learning more about your astrological natal chart. It is a free resource. And of course, if you know your exact date of birth, even better. But if you don't, that's fine. You can still get information about your astrological natal charts. Okay. All right, intuitive friends. As I said, up next we have Pisces. If you've missed your December readings, take a look at your December readings. They are all posted, starting with Aries all the way through Pisces. All righty. Up next, we have Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Welcome back to the channel. Single Pisces, welcome. If you are a single Pisces in your sun, moon, rising, or if you are a single Pisces or you're a Pisces in other aspects of your astrological natal chart, those areas that focus on love, connections, relationships, partnerships, marriage, then these messages are for you. And those placements are as follows. If you are a Pisces in your Venus or Pisces in your Juno, or Pisces in your 5th house, or Pisces in your 7th house, then these messages are also for you. Welcome, Pisces. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a 2nd degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box. All my links are down below. For those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Intuitive friends, if you feel that these messages have resonated for you in the month of December, don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages have resonated for you in December in some way, shape, or form. Don't forget to take a look at your December readings, as well as what you don't see coming. That is in the bonus messages, focusing on what you don't see coming in December. Okay, so those are two separate readings. December readings and what you don't see coming is the other one. No worries. If you take a look at your December readings, you'll see the link in the description box on that latter one. Okay, that being said, intuitive friends, welcome back. And let's see what's coming through here for single Pisces. I will be here channeling messages focusing on what release may be potentially occurring in December in order for you to clear your past connections, emotions, memories, clear your heart chakra so that you can finally open the door to the love that you've been waiting for, the love that you've been manifesting for 2026. Okay, so let's see how this reading can set the stage up for that in your love life. Let's take a look. Single Pisces, what release may be potentially occurring in December for you? And you have here your inner light. Even in the depths of shadow, your soul remains luminous. Never lose sight of it. Look at that. No matter how much you have gone through breakup, separation, divorce, no matter how much your heart has been broken through, like I said, Pisces, breakups, separation, divorce, grief, sorrow, loss, your heart is strong. You are strong. You have this unconditional love towards others, towards people that come, that are near and dear to you, especially in love connections. So Pisces, this beautiful, nurturing, compassionate, kind, generous, unconditional love that you have is your light, is your way of being able to heal from past or recent past experiences. Okay, realize that even though you've gone through a lot of experiences here, or maybe just one or two, or however this may be, whether that has been, rejection in the past or recent past, whether it's been a breakup, separation, or divorce, whether it's that someone has chosen to ghost you and go in another direction, or maybe you have chosen, maybe this person or environment is not the best for me. Your light and unconditional love for yourself and for others is your light. And you may even find yourself here in some storylines if you take a look back and see, well, why is it that I'm always attracting people that have fill in the blank? Okay, that could be different. The same story pattern, or people that need nurturing or compassion, or, like you may say to yourself, like, now that I look back, why is it that I'm always attracting, or why is it I usually attract this specific storyline to me? So towards yourself. So Pisces, this is saying, well, it's time for you to take a look at what that storyline is. What keeps popping up? What's that reoccurring storyline that happens in your love life? And what is the reoccurring, okay, script or storyline that you have? What is your happily ever after in your head? What is the criteria or the requirement in your mind that you say, okay, I need to see these things in order for me to know that I'm having a very healthy relationship? And of course, having a healthy relationship starts with us having a healthy relationship with ourselves, right? So there is this like beautiful light and beautiful sense here of unconditional love that you pour into yourself, that you pour into others, and this beautiful kind of storyline or narrative in your mind of having that true connection, that soulmate, that compatibility. This is saying, don't lose sight of it. If you haven't found it yet, it's fine. Believe, have faith, it will come. But a lot of it has to do with making sure that we are in the energy of that which we want to attract. So in other words, that list, those beliefs, those values, that checklist, are you able to meet your own checklist? Because if you're able to meet your own checklist, then you are in the energy and frequency of attracting someone who is now in your same energy field, right? Because sometimes I I see people, they have this like amazing checklist, which is wonderful, it's great. But then the question is, well, do you see yourself in that checklist? Or are you having this sense of an expectations for other people to meet your standard, or you meet your values, or meet whatever it is that you have in front of you, but yet you haven't met them? You haven't met those checklists, in yourself. So again, that's one way for you to kind of, in a way, cross-check that. But don't lose sight. Don't lose sight of the healthy, compatible connection, the unconditional love that you have for yourself and that you are wanting to enhance in a connection or in your love life, right? Now, let's see what else is coming through. What release may be potentially occurring in December in order for you to clear your past connections? Your heart chakra. Look at that. Intrigue. Allow yourself to be curious. Okay, if someone sparks your attention, great. Allow yourself to be curious. If you spark someone else's attention, allow yourself to be curious, to kind of get to know someone better. Okay, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm getting here with intrigue, especially here with, this clearing. You could meet someone here in 2026, where there's this energy here of meeting someone, or, focusing on your love life here in a way, Pisces, where, it's more in a very kind of light-hearted way. It's in a way of starting off as friends or getting to know someone as time progresses. This sense of curiosity of wanting to explore, someone wanting to explore getting to know you, you wanting to explore getting to know someone else. So this curiosity here, allow yourself to be open to, and it says never lose sight of what your healthy relationship expectations are. because there could be someone that you may be attracting here in 2026. And so what the important part here of December 2025 is telling you is to continue to believe and to hope and to have faith that that quote unquote happily ever after, you know, so to speak, or that healthy connection, that soulmate compatible connection that you want to see in your love life can actually happen, will actually happen. Because where your mind goes, energy flows, and what you think about, you bring about. So it's not losing hope, not losing the curiosity to want to explore connections that you are intuitively guided to or towards. Let's see. By the way, Pisces, you're having a very positive reading from the beginning. So which is I feel here that a lot of you have been really working on your the healing process here of your love life. And I think that that's the reason why it's coming about. Look, regret. I am disappointed with how things went, and I wish I could change the past. So it's you letting go of the regret. That's going to be super important. December 2025, right now, at this moment in time, this is saying, even in the depths of the shadows, and those shadows being here, the what ifs. So, man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, or man, I regret X, Y, and Z, or, you know, I'm disappointed at how this turned out, how that turned out, how this person and I, you know, how, you know, things went down. It's you letting go. It's you needing to release the sense of regret and guilt in order for you to clear this energy so that you can be more aware of your inner light and taking this energy and really using it as a source of a lesson. Okay, so again, your inner light, even in the depths of the shadow, your soul remains luminous. Never lose sight of it. Don't lose hope in what could be here a beautiful love life starting in 2026. Let's see here what comes through with your inner light. Okay, single Pisces. Let's see what's coming through here with your inner light. Get more clarity here. And we have the self, gathering your power. I'm telling you, single Pisces, it's coming across as if you have done the work. You've been doing the work. And basically, December, it's setting up the stage on how you can unleash and apply, put into application the things that you have learned, the things that you have finally have been working and striving towards in your love life. So the self gathering your power is you standing in your power, you owning the fact that you have this beautiful, positive, healthy storyline that you want to see unfold in regards to your love life. And it feels like you're not doing this alone. There's a sense of spark, inspiration, passion, motivation, ambition. It could be something that you've been longing for a very long time, maybe manifesting. And as you stand in your power, you allow yourself to be proactive. There's a lot of like root chakra, sacral chakra energy, very much here at the base of this person's, first and second chakra. First chakra being the root chakra, 396 hertz. If I were you, I would work on this chakra. Okay, as well as your sacral chakra, 417 hertz solfeggio frequency. So, and they're also, so you could do the root chakra individually and the sacral chakra individually, but there are also, because it looks, it's more like the root and the sacral. So really taking a look at solfeggio frequency, sound healing, root chakra sound healing of 396 hertz, and sacral chakra sound healing frequency of 417 hertz solfeggio frequency, and really working on that, because that's the light. That's where your light is stemming from. It's stemming from your root chakra, from your security and stability chakra, as well as your sacral chakra, which is that of passion, okay, and creativity. So root chakra starts at the first and then it travels upward. And it feels like this here, you really working on or strengthening on in the month of December, in order for you to really embrace the fact that you're not going to lose the sight. You're not going to let go of the hope of that love life that you are manifesting or have been manifesting. Very, very beautiful reading here for you, Pisces. All right, let's see what else is coming through. Let's see what intrigue is coming through. What clarity here? Single Pisces. What release may be potentially occurring in December in order for you to clear your past connections or your heart chakra blockages here, or your emotions, your memories, so you can finally open the door to your love life in 2026. All right, let's take a look here at what's coming through for you. Okay, and we have here the one who guides, new path, guide, renewal. I mean, wow. Okay, not only do you have curiosity here with intrigue, but you also have here this energy of you. Like I said, I told you at the beginning of the reading, I feel a lot of you here, Pisces, you've been really doing the work. You have gained the wisdom. You have, in some way, shape, or form here, have taken the time to heal. So, Pisces, some of you here may be at the ending of this healing process. Others of you are like, I've been there, done that. And you know what? What I'm working on is just letting go of the regret, letting go of the guilt, or letting go of these energies here having to do with this, the energy of disappointment. You're not allowing the disappointment from the past or recent past to mess with the next connection or the love life that you would like to see unfold in 2026, which is wonderful. Even though this person here says the one who guides, it does always give me that hermit card type of energy in tarot. Now, the hermit card in tarot is ruled by Virgo, so there may be here some type of connection, although I do feel a lot of fire and earth here with this card here, because Virgo is the one that rules the hermit card in tarot. But this energy with the one who guides is you are allowing yourself to be guided by your wisdom, the growth, the healing, the soul searching that you've been doing, the solitude, the moment that you have taken a step back to deal with or to clear the regret, the disappointments, the feelings here of wishing that you could change something from the past. And you're either one or two things. You've already let this go, or you're kind of like at the last lap of allowing yourself to let this go. Okay. So yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful card here. Feel you're really moving in a new direction. I said, I feel that a lot of you here, again, Pisces, and different people may have Pisces in different placements here, but definitely if you have like Pisces and Venus, Pisces and Juno, or Pisces in your 7th or 5th house, it's looking like you're really going to be ready here for 2026 to be proactive in connections that you're going to be intrigued about or you're going to be curious about, but also connections that you feel that the other person has also done the healing, the growth, and has come to terms with applying the wisdom. Because that's also another thing here, Pisces. It's not just like knowing these things, it's applying the wisdom, right? It's knowing how to apply the wisdom that you have mastered or gained and apply it in a new connection or in a new environment in regards to love. One that may start with either someone being very curious about getting to know you or you being very curious about getting to know the other person. So, yeah, very, very beautiful energy here. See, someone is intrigued by you and wants to get to know you better. See? So I do feel here for some of you here that this is a very good indicator here of that. Now, the following, what I'm about to say next, is not for everyone, but there could be here one person that might be like, yeah, that looks like that may be the case. There's someone here that may be watching this reading where it may be very much connected to someone that they already dealt with in the past or recent past, because this kitten or this kitten here is looking towards my left hand side, and left hand side is the past. So there may have been a connection that someone may have regretted getting out of, or may have been disappointed or wish that they could go back. This could be you or this could be someone else. They may try to come back, or there may be curiosity of wanting to return. Okay, because this is coming very strongly here. And if that storyline resonates with you, single Pisces, this is saying you need to really understand and see if you or the other person, have you really learned from this breakup, separation, or the time apart? Have you really learned? Or is it just someone who's just interested in just, connecting with you again and is just out of curiosity? You see what I'm saying? So just keep this in the back of your mind, because it does feel that way here energetically. There may be some people from the past or recent past, or a person from a past or recent past, that may want to reach out to you, or that may be thinking about reaching out to you if they haven't done so already. And I feel that there's you're going to look at this kind of person who's curious in a very different way, because you've been there, done that. You know better, so you're going to want to do better, and you're going to expect something better. You know what I mean? So you have your bar is high, so, which is great. And it's going to make this person have to prove that they are coming in a very different way than they may have come in the past or recent past. And again, that person could be also you. It could go vice versa. It could be another person coming towards you, or you actually thinking about someone from the past or recent past. That just flipped up on its own. You have the Three of Swords, yeah, and Four of Pentacles. Yeah, there could be some. Listen, and it's interesting because not too many. I would say, like, astrologically speaking, here there haven't been there really hasn't. I want to say it's really been maybe you and another sign that's talked more about like what's coming up, as opposed to what you need to be healing and mending, fixing, or repairing here, so that you can set the stage up. But for you, it's like you've been doing the work. And if there is something here about you being disappointed, or someone else being disappointed, whether it's you having a regret or someone else having a regret, wishing that they can change the past, whether it be you or someone else, you have the Three of Swords here. That was a breakup, separation, or divorce. That was something that had a lot to do with the pain. And I'm gonna give you two things that are coming through. For those of you who are still working through this energy, this is talking about you letting go of the pain, the sadness, the regret, the memories of this disappointment, or this thing that either you feel that you should have changed or could have changed, or that didn't change. It disappointed you, this person or this situation. The Three of Swords says here is, I see things exactly as they are. And it makes a lot of sense, because I did talk about that, this energy here, where it says the one who guides, new path guides and renewal. Like I said, like I was feeling that Virgo energy, that hermit energy. So the time that you have given yourself to heal, to grow, and to grow wiser, you're now able to see things as they truly have been in your love life. And you're only going to hold on to either a potential person here in the near future that shows you that they value you as much as you value them. The Four of Pentacles energy is holding on to something that we value, whether that is qualities or belief systems or values, whether it's, as they say, you don't throw what is it, there's a saying that says, when you don't throw out the baby in the water, the bath water. So it's about, like, yeah, there's some things I know that I need to release, but that there's some things that are very meaningful to me that I'm still keeping close and near and dear to my heart. And so the Four of Pentacles is like I'm holding on to that, I'm holding tightly to, or I'm guarding, or I'm saving this, important value, fill in the blank, this important, whatever it is, for the right person. Or I'm going to hold off on, giving my heart and soul that easily until I see someone who is worth my time and, my efforts, and vice versa. Do they value me? Do I value them? So it's kind of like that even type of energy that I'm getting here. It says, I trust that I'm always safe and protected. So this leap forward, this, in a way, full cards type of energy here that's coming through with never lose sight of what your belief systems are in regards to your love life. Okay? Never lose sight of what you truly value. Never lose sight of the fact that you need to stand in your own power and to gather your power and be straight up and honest, about what your expectations are, regardless of how someone may interpret that. Okay. Remember, the only people that have an issue with someone being very straightforward from the beginning is someone who cannot meet that expectation that you are setting. Okay. And if they cannot meet that expectation that you're setting, you've been there, done that. You have the wisdom. You already know, the heartbreak, the separation, breakup, or divorce that you went through. And you're not going to hang on to someone who is not truly valuing you, or that doesn't value your own beliefs, value systems, and the foundation of a healthy connection. So that being said, a single Pisces, I want to say thank you for joining. Don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section if these messages have resonated for you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and if you haven't subscribed already, well, consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you during our free mini readings that I do give for my subscribers. That being said, take care, single Pisces, and have a good one. Bye-bye.